Merab Dvalishvili wants to be very active in the beginning of 2025. He wants to fight 3 times in 4 months. I want to be busy in 2025. I think Pyotr will be ready in March, so maybe fight Pyotr in March and then rematch O'Malley in April. The one in January is the toughest one for him, Umar. If he gets past him, he's already beaten the other 2 guys. Luke Rockhold thinks Umar can beat him everywhere. He can outstrike him, then Merab can shoot in. Umar can counter him and get his back. I don't see that fight going any other way. Merab's in agreement that the only decent fighter Umar has beat is Corey Sandhagen. Look at Merab's resume. Aldo, former champ. Jan, also former champ. Cejudo, former double champ. O'Malley, former champ. Merab will dominate Umar. Umar's working his kicks with Javier Mendez. They're an effective part of his game that he'll use in the fight. During the 5th round of Merab's fight with O'Malley, O'Malley landed a significant front kick to Merab's body. A strike Umar will likely try and replicate at some point during the fight. Top selling fighters in the UFC store in 2024. Number 1, Alex Pereira. 2, Holloway. 3, Poirier. 4, O'Malley. 5, John Jones. So in a very short period of time, Alex Pereira has become the number 1 name in the game for the UFC. Don't know why people are even taking notice of this absolute helmet running this page. He hasn't got a clue what he's talking about. Paddy Pimblett versus Benoit Saint-Denis targeted for UFC London. Chandler versus Pimblett officially signed for UFC London. Gamrot versus Paddy officially signed for UFC London. 3 different opponents in one night. UFC 1 style tournament in London. Sean O'Malley is going to be at Rizin on New Year's Eve. He's in Japan doing appearances, some of them unusual. Sean O'Malley is currently recovering from a hip injury. He suffered a torn labrum in his hip about 10 weeks before his fight with Merab at UFC 306. He underwent surgery to address the injury. He mentioned potentially returning as early as March, but possibly up until June. He has interest in rematching Merab in Miami for his return fight, but if Merab loses the belt next month, then maybe he will consider other options. UFC bantamweight Vinicius Oliveira weighs about 153 pounds. He's got to make 136 in about a month for his fight with Said Nurmagomedov in Riyadh. This fight between Darren Till and Anthony Taylor will take place at 195 pounds instead of 205, which was the original weight for Till versus Fury, but that fight got canceled. Anthony Taylor, during his MMA career, at one point fought at 145 pounds. KSI says, fuck Tommy Fury, now we got a real fight. FYI, Darren Coward picking on a smaller guy. I said yes to a fight with him. He said no to a fight with me. Seems like that Tommy Fury bug is strong. Cowards. Scumbags. Misfits didn't want you on the card. Their words were, we don't like Idris. We only use him if we're desperate. Glad they kept Darren on the card. Respect to Anthony Taylor. Still refused to believe Fury withdrew simply because Darren said he'd kick him at the presser.
Listen, Darren, you got to walk into the firing line, mate. And everyone I've sparred from the Olympics who's turned over pro, it's different watching me on the television.
Well, at the end of the day, if I can't beat it, I'll just kick you in the face in there. How about that?
Well, that's not going to happen, Darren.
Well, it obviously is. How are you going to stop?
Because we're 18 occasion now in a boxing ring, and you're going to find out that boxing is very different
fight,
to MMA.
I'll just kick you straight in your face.
Listen,
you won't know what
you kick me straight in the face, well, that's it. It's going to be a proper fight then, isn't it?
But then I'll win, because I'm a proper fighter. I'm an MMA fighter, so
why
if I
come over there?
you or elbow you in the face, I will.
Why
no one can do anything about it.
The 2024 Fight Pass most replayed library fights were Diaz versus McGregor 2, then Jones versus Gane, then Emmett versus Topuria, Prochazka versus Pereira Part 1, and Khabib versus McGregor. Since the first fight between Sarukian and Makhachev, both guys have won 9 times. Islam finished 7 of 9 opponents. Sarukian finished 4 of 9.
You smoked it. Smoked her. Yeah? Yep. I'm gonna walk her and see if she goes down. You smoked her.
A lot of people owe Kevin Holland money, brothers and sisters. If you owe me money, I'm about to drop a post Tuesday tagging you.
Man, if you ever said, let me borrow some money, not let me have some money, motherfucker pay me.
And he'll be making more money in 3 weeks' time when he takes on Radiator Ritter. This matchup is seen as a classic striker versus grappler scenario. Holland has the edge in striking with his reach, speed, and skill, but the Ritter's grappling prowess may come into play if he can get the fight to the ground, potentially leading to a submission. Trampoline Jiu-Jitsu with Glover Teixeira and Alex Pereira. On this day in 2018, Amanda Nunes KO'd Cyborg in 51 seconds to become a two-weight champion. She dropped Cyborg 4 times in 26 seconds, so on average, she was dropping her every 4.5 seconds until she got the KO. Cyborg has a good attitude about the loss. That night was such a great experience. Long-term, growing often comes with difficult moments. This made me a better fighter and woman today. It taught me that sometimes to be your best, you have to lose. Since that time, she won the Bellator belt and the PFL belt and won 8 in a row. A couple months ago, Amanda Nunes teased a comeback. She holds a win over the 2 women who fought for the belt last, Juliana Pena and Raquel Pennington. Cecile Bolander defeated former UFC fighter Lucia Pudilova to win the OKTAGON MMA Bantamweight Championship. Losan Kaida won in the main event. He's 16-1, only loss was due to a foot injury. He should be in the UFC. They tried getting him a couple times, but he turned them down because he feels valued and well compensated by OKTAGON MMA, where he's a big star. He says moving to the UFC would mean starting at a lower pay scale, $12K to show, $12K to win, despite what he's accomplished in the sport, so he doesn't feel that reflects his worth or current status in the sport. He has a fan base in Europe and he prefers to continue his growth there rather than starting anew in the UFC, but his ultimate goal is to fight in the UFC, but he wants to do it on his terms, perhaps getting a bigger name and then securing better financial terms. Peter Gobble also won on the card. That's his 3rd win in a month. He won on November 30th, December 20th, and December 29th. Will Fleury won the light heavyweight title on that card, and he called out former UFC fighter Makhmud Muradov.
I see Makhmud Muradov there in the corner. That man wants to come up. We can have a little battle. We can do a catch weight. Let's sort it out. 90 kilos. 90 kilo. You do catch weight? Catch weight? Okay.
Let's go. I'm here. 185. Let's go.
We'll do it.
Now let's go.
Let's do it.
Don't talk anymore. I'm ready.
Okay. Why
You're only talking.
We're doing it.
I'm talking.
I'm doing it, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm asking you.
Okay,
Stand
let's
here
go.
and accept it.
185. Yes.
There we
let's
go. Deal.
Yes.
Hold on. There you go.
Makhmud Muradov had a very eventful year. In February, his fight ended in 11 seconds when he got eye-poked badly. He pulled out of his fight with Michelle Pereira in May, and then the UFC released him despite a recent contract renewal. Then he signed with OKTAGON MMA in June, won there in September, and earlier this month in that little cage in Fame MMA, he won a boxing match against former UFC fighter Norman Park. Shannon Rich wants to bare-knuckle box Houston Alexander. Shannon Rich has 150 fights and never went the distance. Houston Alexander is actually undefeated in BKFC, 4-0.
Yes. You're doing it now.